Do you think that in the way that marketing is evolving, that ultimate distribution just essentially comes down to artificial intelligence? You don't really need marketing men like Martin Sorrell in the future to be able to get your message across.
Well, I'll be dead and buried by then, but it'll take some time. But, there is this distinction between artificial intelligence and artificial general intelligence. The difference being that AI is more specific and, let's say, blue collar, more mechanistic and the sort of lower level jobs, whereas general intelligence, AGI, is about more highbrow, more intent. Now, that will take time. It will take time for machines to learn more intricate and more complex things to do than menial tasks. I mean, I read an article about Krispy Kreme donuts are going to get rid of bakers and they're going to have it done by robots, AI robots, AI-driven robots. So moving from a more sort of blue-collar area to white-collar is going to be more difficult. Interestingly, in our industry, about a year ago, there was this design style which appeared out of Russia, I think it was, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And everybody thought this was Igor, or somebody in Russia who was a designer. Everybody trying to imitate his style, or her style, if it was Igorina or something. And they after a year, they discovered that actually it was a robot who was doing it, and it wasn't. It was an AI-driven piece of intelligence. So I think people are underestimating the impact that this will have, because I think machines over time can be trained to do, with more and more experience, to do quite complex tasks, certainly much more complex than we currently think. So I think that's one of the issues. We've got a session on Friday on that here. It'd be interesting to hear what others have to say on that. But I think the impact will be more profound, for example, on media planning and buying, which is the bedrock of the holding companies. Do you envision a
future where a tool like ChatGPT could do your media planning?
Yes, I do.
How effective would it be versus a smart
I think
human?
It could be very effective. I think we're already starting to get there. We see in the digital space, the tech platforms, it was a misunderstanding. Tech platforms were not competitors to the holding companies because they didn't want to go into a big service business. But the tech platforms are developing technologies that can plan and buy media directly with clients in a very effective way. That is a massive problem for the holding companies because it attacks, the largest holding company in the world is no longer sadly WPP, it's Omnicom. Number 2 is Publicis. Number 3 is IPG. Number 4 is WPP. Number 5 is Dentsu, and number 6. However, all 6 companies depend for maybe almost half of their profitability on media planning and buying. That is going to come under increasing attack from technological changes that we are going to see. Some generally driven by data, but some driven by AI.
Could it push media planning companies out of business in your view?
It could, unless they adapt, it could do. So I think it's a fundamental, it's going to take a few years, but the technology is there. It has to be refined. I mean, the planning and buying can be done algorithmically on a basis of results, and machines can learn that more effectively than humans.
Do you see
can a 25-year-old media buyer, that's who we're talking about, right? Are they the best? Do they have the experience? Do they have the knowledge? I mean, some do, but some don't. And I think in that area, it's a very algorithmic, mathematical, formulaic approach. Data changes over time, and you ingest the data immediately. I mean, for humans, it takes time to assess the impact of these things. Machines may be able to do it faster.